Hey, what's up, YouTubers? This is a video on people who want to get out of Dodge but don't have a lot of money to start with, or have a low budget. Let's say they only have a couple $100 a month, or 500 or 1,000 bucks a month. Think they can't live within their budget and need some ideas on how to get by on a lot less. So here, and I want to give you a few ideas how you can lower your expenses quite a bit. Or if you just need a way to lay low for a while and you don't have a lot of money, you got enough saved up so you can actually leave the country. Well, this is a good idea. I'm going to show you a few ideas on how you can do that. Right up here is this website called HelperX. It's a website that places basically volunteers who work for room and board. Now the idea of it is you work 4 to 5 to 6 hours a day, and you get your room and board. Now the thing with HelperX is a lot of well, not a lot, a few of the people who you're going to be helping. It's mainly farmers. Uh, it's it's basically, well, not all, but a lot of it's basically farmers and agricultural type work where you work in exchange for room and board. But it's not all like that. Some of it's just gardening. Some of it's helping rebuild a house or construction of a house. Some of it's outside agriculture where you're like building um, organic ponds and organic things, organic type farming type deals. But basically, what I'm trying to get at is it's a lot of labor type work, and some of the people who need the volunteers will take advantage of that, and you might not get a good fit. So just be aware of that when you sign on if you do this. But what's cool about it is when you find a good host, you'll typically get room and board. You typically get enough time to putz around and do whatever you want in your spare time, like travel, see the surrounding area. Or if you want, you can work on your side gig, because not all, but a lot of these places have online facilities, and if they don't, there's internet cafes in town they go to get your internet needs met. So you work 4 or 5 hours a day, and then you can spend the rest of your day traveling or looking around or working part time. What I would suggest with this kind of a setup is what you do is you work on your side gig when you're not working for one of the farmers here on HelpX, or one of the donors, let's say, and that way you can build up capital and you have a place to stay and a place to live, and it doesn't cost you too much. And usually they provide, not all of them, but most of them provide enough food and enough nice enough accommodation that you'll get by okay. And if you don't like the first few places you go to, you can always go to other ones. And what's cool about this site is when you sign up, it's 20 euros if I remember right. So maybe 25 bucks US. But when you sign up, they have they have comments. So like you can comment on your stay, after you've been there, and people who've been there previously can comment. So you can get an idea of who the cool people are and who the not so cool people are. But there's a lot of interesting assignments you can do or apply for. You can like teach English, volunteer to teach English 20 or 30 hours a week at some of these places. You can work on farms all over the world, in Latin America, um, all over South America, all over Central America and Mexico, all over Canada and the States, and all over Europe. And it's just basically a work exchange type program where you can, exchange your labor for a room and board. But what's cool about it is you don't need a lot of money if you want to travel around the world, if you want to expat, or for one reason or other you don't have enough money coming in to live on in a nice way. So you can cut your expenses this way, and that's what's cool about it. And HelperX is not the only one. There's other competitors. There's another one in Europe. I forget what it is, but they're all over the world too. They're in Europe, and but they basically do the same thing, except for it's all organic farming. I just can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but you can do that too. But it's a little bit more harder work, and people are more serious about their farming. Not that they're not serious here, but here it's more of a variety of things. Like you could be volunteering to teach English to some couple's children, or you could be like some couple's nanny, or you could be working in an orchard picking apples during certain parts of the year. You could, as you can see from the pictures here, there's a variety of things you could be doing. And once you find a nice fit, you can stay a while if it's agreeable to you and the host. Not everything's going to work out, but there's a lot of opportunities here. Like I can see here, they're in Australia, New Zealand, and all over Europe, and and all over Latin America, and believe it or not, there's large parts of the Southeast Asia they're at. So like if you're looking for help and you want to hire someone here, you can join up and do that. Or if you're the other way around, you want to look to cut your expenses and do some volunteer work and get room and board in exchange for that, you can do that. Now in the first world countries, these things are a little bit more regulated. So as far as your visa is concerned, it's a little bit of a risk there because technically you're not supposed to be working in a lot of these countries. Some of these countries have a way where you can get a visa to volunteer, but not all. Mostly you're just keeping a low profile and going with the flow and doing it that way. But in Latin American and Asian countries, rules and regulations are mostly suggestions. No one really cares that much one way or the other. Anyways, I want to point out to another website that can help you do the same thing. Um, it's the Caretaker Gazette. It's basically a house sitting newsletter that points you to people who are looking for people to house sit. What's cool about the Caretaker Gazette is they have work or they have opportunities all over the U.S., Canada, and parts of Europe. But what's cool is they have opportunities all over like Latin America and the Caribbean. A lot of investors have homes in the Caribbean and in Latin America, and they're not living there all year, and they need someone to take care of the place for them. And why I recommend this place is it has a lot more hoops you have to jump through, or you have to qualify to sit at someone's home. Like they want basically want references, and if you have good references, you can get in. And a way around the references, I would say, is if you have a lawyer or if you're a professional and you know a lot of professionals, they can vouch for you and give you good references. That's what's cool about this site. And just right off the bat, it's about 55 bucks a year. No, it's 70 bucks for 3 years, 50 bucks for 2 years. And if I remember right, it's 25 bucks for a year, or maybe it's 20, I can't remember. What's cool about this site, they've been around since I was a kid. And it used to be a paper letter, but now it's a paper letter if you want. And or you can just get it electronically. I just get it electronically. But anyways, what's cool about this is if you get in and you find someone you can house sit for or take care of the property, what's cool about it is it can lead to a long-term situation. And a lot of the people who do this are fairly wealthy. So if you build up trust with them, what's cool about it is they'll either have work for you or they'll have gigs they can tell you about where you can earn money on the side. And that's what's cool about it. But I have to stress, you have to build up trust with these people. And once you build up trust with these people, they will let you know of opportunities to earn more money in addition to just house sitting. So it can be a cool way to lay low if you want. Work on your side gig, like if you work online like I do. Or like maybe you give English lessons online or something like that. That's a good way you can do it because most all these places have internet. And the only thing you have to do is really stay in the house and watch the house. And the only danger it usually has is maybe some of the jobs in Latin America and the Caribbean where it's a little bit more iffy. But usually these are high-end properties and the owners don't live there all year and they're looking for someone they can trust. And usually what you can do is when they find out they can trust you, you can watch their friends' homes too on the side for a little extra income on the side. And that's what's cool about the Caretaker Gazette is that's the kind of clients they have, fairly well off. So it can lead to additional opportunities if, like I said, you build up trust. The other thing is they're all over the world. They have opportunities all over Europe, the Caribbean, Latin America, excuse me, and quite a few in Australia if you're looking to maybe go to Australia for a while. House sitting and HelperX are good. Caretaker Gazette and these house sitting type jobs and help exchange jobs opportunities. It's a good way to lay low if you don't have a lot of money. So if you're looking to get out of Dodge and you're looking to earn some money working part-time and having your room and board paid for, this is one way to go. And in addition to that, another way is just to go to Southeast Asia. Once you land in Southeast Asia, it's really easy to find a job teaching English. You may not like it, but it pays a lot more than Latin America. Just for people who want to head out that way, I'll just put that in there. But anyhow, if you can get your room and board paid for, and if you can get a little part-time gig outside of that, you can save a few bucks and you have some breathing room to decide what you want to do with the rest of your life. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. Like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you think. And again, the first one's the www.caretaker.org. And they've been around for a long time and have a very good reputation. And of course, they have their competitors too, so check them out. Then there's HelperX, and again, HelperX has their competitors, and they're at just helpx.com or .net. and they're really cheap. I mean, for what it costs for HelpX is 20 euros, and then for the Caretaker Gazette, it's 25 bucks for 1 year. I mean, it's cheap insurance if you're looking for a way to get outside the U.S. or you want to get outside your home country and you don't have a lot of money. You want to have somewhere to land, and you don't want to, manage the risk of showing up in a country you don't know much about and getting room and, renting a hotel and spending a lot of money that way. You can set all this up in advance if you want, and you don't need a lot of money to do it. You can land in these countries a couple $100 or a couple thousand and work your way into something interesting. All right, thanks for watching.